Good evening, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. So, not been on London Commuter for quite a while, so I thought I would run a Gatwick Express between Brighton and London. We'll go in that direction. This is service 1M99, 8:22 in the morning. Should take us just over an hour to get to London. So we'll pick this one. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's okay. I'm looking forward to Spirit of Steam. Right, let's get everything set up, ready to go. Master key. Okay. Do it that way, that's better. Open a window. Let's do the lights before we do anything else. Tail lights run auto, that's fine. Day running. Safety systems are over here. Right, let's get the doors unlocked. So we've already got one in on this platform that's just come in. So we need to wait until 8:24 before we can depart, so it's only just less than a minute. Let's have a look what stops we've got. Hassocks is the first stop, Haywards Heath, then we've got Gatwick and London Victoria, so pretty express, pretty fast service. See how many people we've got on board. We've got a few. These are nice to do, like these onboard information systems. Right, let's shut the doors because we're about to depart. Off we go. So it's 6.6 miles to Hassocks. That was a nice touch having that 09 put in there. There we got the 313. Very popular little EMU. Which is of course for East Coastway, but you can run it on London Commuter. There are a few services you can run. I think I've completed all those services actually for the 313 on this route. We should be able to get up to speed quite soon. Take a look outside. There's another 313 over there. The Lovers Walk depot. So this is the 387. It's quite nice to drive this one. Let's get up to speed. We can go up to 75 just now. It's quite a long train actually. What is this, 8 car? 8 car. As we leave Brighton behind. Now you can just, I think we've probably passed it, but you can see the East Coastway route over that side. You can see the viaduct. Might just be out of sight from where we are now, but as we're leaving Brighton, you can see that. So we're of course to the left of East Coastway if you're heading out of Brighton on the East Coastway. This is to the left. It's the main line up to London. So we got Brighton in the game twice at the moment. So if you live in Brighton or around Brighton, you're very lucky people. I'm still waiting for the West Coast main line, by the way, just in case you forgot. So this was just a bit of an impromptu stream tonight. I didn't plan to do this. I was playing anyway, and I thought I will have a run on this Brighton main line, and I might as well flick it on and see who's around. I did put out a short news video earlier this evening about Spirit of Steam. So if you've not seen that yet, have a look on the channel. You'll see that a couple of hours ago. Really just recapping the news article from yesterday, just showing the trailer and just speculating on when the release date might be. Just over 3 miles till Hassocks. And I don't want to tempt fate, but so far London Commuter seems to have performed pretty well on the PS5. Had a couple of issues around Victoria, where it's quite dense traffic around there, quite a lot going on in and around Victoria. It struggled a couple of times, but it's not on every service. I think this is about the 40th service I've done now. I still need to get the trophy for 50 services. I think this is 40. I've done all the scenarios, of course. I did those fairly early on. A mile and a half. Start to put a little bit of brake in. So it can be a bit deceptive when you're braking in a straight line. The station can be upon you in no time. So we're good time-wise. We're due in at 32 and 30 seconds, so we're ahead just now. So this is Hassocks. Let's take a quick look at Hassocks. So we're departing at 8:33, and then there is one 20 minutes behind us, 8:53, and another at 9:07. So pretty frequent service. So if you're at Brighton, you do miss one. Not to worry, you don't have to wait very long. So we've got a full minute to wait. I have been round and got all the collectibles as well for this route. I spent a bit of time doing that.
Security personnel tour this station 24 hours a day.
So we'll be locking the doors very soon, and then we'll be away. In fact, let's lock them right now. So on to Haywards Heath, which is 5.8 miles. It's got pretty good acceleration as well, this one. We are slightly downhill. We've got a 0.4% downhill just at the moment, but it does pick up pretty well. It's in notch 4 now, which is the highest we can go to. We've got 11 minutes, just over 11 minutes to get to Haywards Heath. Thanks everyone for coming in, by the way. Appreciate it. And if you're watching on demand, likewise. So we've got a yellow coming up. That's a double yellow. Kind of suggests we are going to get stopped if we've got 11 minutes to do 4.5 miles. So I'll just be cautious for this next yellow. Also, if you're in the chat or watching on demand, please leave me a like as well. That will really help me out. So we've got this red coming up the end of the platform, but we're not actually stopping here at this station, so we'll just roll through. Quite a busy platform, that, to say that we're not stopping, and there isn't one behind us for about 20 minutes. So we must have something in front of us, I would expect. But it might be a fair bit in front of us. Yeah, there is. There's something stuck there. I hope that's not going to cause us issues. We'll stop at this red and we'll just look. I have heard about some red light issues, but I haven't encountered any yet. Could just be that we're early, so I won't panic about it just yet. I'll just keep my eye on that traffic in front. In fact, it's turned to yellow, so that's good. I was getting a bit worried. So the train in front of us is cleared. I thought I was going to get my first red light issue then. I don't know if that's restricted to a certain platform, the red light issue, or whether that's happening everywhere. But I read some of the forum posts and think, well, that's not happened to me yet. I wonder why. Then again, as I said, I think this is my 40th service. So there's players out there that've played way more services than I have, so they're going to come across a few more issues probably than I've seen so far. I'm going to take it cautiously with somebody in front of us. Still got just over 3 miles. I saw a track sign then, I'm sure for leaves on the line. I've not seen that before. Okay, so we got a green now, so we can speed up a little bit. Hi Gail, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Thanks for saying hello. So one thing about London Commuter is that you do get these services with reds and yellows, which is quite good. Quite often with the early routes we were nothing but greens, so it didn't represent that much of a challenge signals wise. But I think the timetable for this one's so busy that you're gonna get reds and yellows. Especially if you're running late from being a streamer like me and looking around the train and perhaps not setting off on time. We're in good time for this service, but that has happened in the past. So once you let things build up, you're going to get yellows and reds. And this timetable was built by Joe at DTG. And if you watched the roadmap stream last night, you know he's also been at work on the Bakerloo line. And there's a new timetable coming out for the Bakerloo line as well, if the underground is your thing, with 600 playable services in that timetable, which is pretty impressive. There's already so many services, and having added the 1938 stop as well, which also comes with its own timetable, there's more than enough to do on there for me personally, but I do like the 1938 stop. That's made a big difference for me on that route. So we've still got 4 minutes, and we've still got something in front of us. So I'm just taking it slow for now. And this is Haywards Heath. We are seeing plenty of traffic so far on this route, coming the other way, which is nice. This is many people's favourite route, of course, because of the fact there's so much going on, and you can use, depending what platform you're on, there's plenty of substitution services from other routes, including the 166 from Great Western Express. So let's let everybody on at Haywards Heath. Quite a few getting off. I'm not actually sure how many are getting on, but that's fine. There is quite a few getting off. So we've got a little bit of a wait. Gatwick will be our next stop, so we've got a little bit of distance to cover for the next one. Let's have a look around Haywards Heath while we're here. Got a 377 there in the platform. That's also off to Victoria. I'm assuming as we're the express, we will leave before he or she does. But he is actually leaving now, so maybe we'll be able to pass them. Look at the weathering on this station sign. Looks pretty good. That's the kind of detail you don't always see. So 377 is on his way. Ticket machines are there, but not working. Let's have a look outside the station. The roads are pretty quiet. 8:45 in the morning. That's fine. That's because everybody's travelling by train. So we're nearly ready to depart. Not long now, we can get the doors closed and we can get on our way to Gatwick. Just another 10 seconds, we'll get the doors closed. Perfect. Right, 11 miles we've got. 10 minutes to get there if we want to stay on time. I suppose the other bit of news from the roadmap last night that was of interest to a lot of people was that it was also announced that there was a new US route in planning. Although that and the German route, which was announced a few weeks ago, are only in the early stages of development, it's still an additional route that we weren't expecting. So I know after Spirit of Steam there's going to be a focus on going back and reviewing routes and fixing major bugs. Some of those they went through last night, such as the save bug. There was also a little bit of an update on the 64 gig DLC limit issue for PS5, which, as you know, is affecting me quite a lot. I've got lots of routes I've had to remove, unfortunately. So I'm hoping that one comes around pretty quick. But Spirit of Steam, I think, is going to be the big one. And as I said in the video earlier tonight, I think no matter what your level of experience is already in Train Sim World, there's going to be a lot of challenge there. And I've never driven a steam train in any simulator, so I'm looking forward to the challenge, to be honest. And of course, when that comes out, I'll be covering that on the channel. I'm hoping I get to have a practice before I need to stream it, but we'll see. Because the ambassadors in the main part can usually get some sort of early access slightly earlier than everybody else gets to play it, but on PlayStation there isn't that facility just yet to be able to do that, so I may not get to play it. So when I play it the first time, you'll probably be watching me play it the first time, so it could be quite amusing. So you'll have to have some patience that day, I think. But we'll go through that together, we'll learn that together, because I think it's going to be a challenge for all of us, unless you're a seasoned steam engine driver in TS Classic. It'll probably be more familiar to you then, I would expect. Just over 7 miles. We've got an 80 coming up, but it's a while off yet. Slightly brake for the 80. It's a very nice looking train, this one. very distinctive in the red. It's a really nice long run on this route, which, as you know, is one of my favourite things to do. Just need more longer routes now. I prefer doing these express services to the stoppers, to be honest. I don't mind a bit of both, but generally I like to do more driving than I do stopping and picking people up. And the good thing is that a lot of these routes cater for both. You have an opportunity to do both, especially on this route. So we do have a 60 coming up on the approach to Gatwick. So I do appreciate everyone coming in for this impromptu little stream. I think DTG have got the Train Sim Classic Workshop Wednesday stream tonight. There's nothing TSW related tonight until tomorrow, I think, when Sam is back doing one of his crazy streams. And outside of TSW, I do have, if you like bus sims, I do have an early copy of Tourist Bus Sim for the PS5, and they gave me early access yesterday actually. There is an embargo though, so I can't show that yet until Friday at 5 PM, but I do have a first look in the can ready to go on Friday. So if you are interested in bus simulators, especially if you're on console, feel free to come and check that one out as well on Friday at 5. You'll see it scheduled there on the channel. Quite looking forward to that. So we've got half a mile or so. We should soon see the aircraft coming across the front. I can hear one right now. There he goes. That's a really nice touch actually, that. I quite like that. So this is Gatwick. We do have a red at the end of this platform as well. Quite close to the stop marker. So it's one of those you need to concentrate for.
This is a safety announcement. It is not permitted to cycle, skateboard or rollerblade within the station building.
There you go, so don't bring your skateboard to Gatwick railway station. You'll be quickly thrown out according to that announcement. plenty of takers getting off here, presumably to go to the airport. They've not got much baggage. That is one thing that would be nice to see, wouldn't it, with the passengers. We've gone through the first stage of A, adding more passengers, and B, changing the clothing to suit the season and the route. We just need them to carry bags now, or go on mobile phones, or things that you see people doing every day, especially going to an airport. You expect people to get off now with suitcases and wheeled bags and be trundling along the platform. That's not possible just yet, but that certainly will be a nice addition. It's not. There's bugs to be fixed first, isn't there, before things like that, but just for an immersion point of view, it will be nice at some stage. So we got another one over there. Actually, that one is nice, not in the platform and the doors are open. It's a bit too long for the platform. So I think our next stop actually is direct now to Victoria. So we'll get the doors closed and we'll be away. "23 miles into London Victoria." And that will be our service done. Due to arrive 9:28. Oh, the track's bumpy just there. Not noticed that before. So let's get up to speed. Cover some of these miles off. Quite a decent amount of action points so far, so about halfway through the route, just over halfway through the route, nearly 7,000 action points. So if you do want to level up, if that's your thing, then this route's pretty good for leveling up. Bakerloo is the best route, I would say, for leveling up. Seem to get 20,000 points a time for about an hour's worth of play on Bakerloo. Probably due to the amount of stops you've got to do on the underground. Hey Farah, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. Well, we got 21 miles left, so we've got 28 minutes probably left. It's a very, very impromptu stream. I was playing anyway and decided just to jump in. How are you doing? Hopefully you're looking forward to Tourist Bus Sim on Friday. That's one definitely to look forward to, I think. Yeah, this route is. I, I'm gonna curse it now, but this has been fine for me on PS5. I was commenting earlier in the stream that the only place I've really seen an issue is there's a 166 over there from Great Western Express. Um, the only place I've seen an issue is in Victoria itself. It sometimes seems to struggle um, when you're starting a service in Victoria. So when you're trying to turn on the master key and put it in forward, it's sometimes like it's stuck in glue for a time, which I think is a common problem across all the different platforms. Apart from that, I haven't noticed much stuttering or anything like that. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Yeah, yeah. There were some services I was running a couple of weeks back after the last update. I can't remember which ones they were now. I wonder if they were 166 services. I did getting stuck at red lights, but it was a certain service I noticed on the forums. Somebody else had posted that. But with these main services, I've not had any issues. Do quite enjoy this route. It's another route that I haven't travelled on. I'm saying I haven't travelled on it. I can't remember. I think I may have done because I remember coming out of London and going past Battersea Power Station. So I must have, whether I've been on this section of the route or just the early section of the route. I think, I don't know it essentially anyway. I may have been on it, but I don't know it. I was just travelling somewhere for work. Probably 20 years ago, maybe. So my brain has fried since then, so I can't recall everything that far back. Last in, first out, or whatever they call it. Hi Jaffa, thanks for coming in. So if you're playing this one on PS5, you do have the additional stuff as well, so it's probably worth, if you've got a PS5, it's probably worth running it. I'm good, Jaffa, thanks, yeah, how are you? I'm pretty good. You guys don't forget to give me a like as well. I appreciate that. Helps me get noticed just that little bit more. So I do appreciate it. 14 miles into Victoria. Making good time actually. It's quite a fast section of the route, this. So look at this weathering here. This is pretty good. As it throws me out when we hit a bridge. Let me do that again. Let me also make sure I'm not speeding. Yeah, so it's like where the water has come around in between the coaches. It's pretty good, that. yeah, hopefully you guys have had a look at that short video I did earlier about Spirit of Steam. Just a recap video, really, for everything that was announced yesterday, the update on how Spirit of Steam is going. So that was on the channel a couple of hours back, just a very short video. In the Train Sim World news section. Oh, good man. It does look good. And again, I was saying earlier that it's going to be a new experience for a lot of us. And but I'm quite looking forward to the challenge. We've had quite a few trains like this one, haven't we? Which are very similar, similar to setup and drive. So it's nice to get something a little bit different. Oh, thanks, Jaffa. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that comment. Yeah, I'm with you there, Farrah. I'm not particularly too excited about steam trains. I'm excited about driving them on Train Sim World, but I know for a fact, from you mentioning it last time, I'm a very, very similar age to you. Very similar, I'll say, and so of course, BR Blue was definitely my era growing up. So the stuff like Northern Transpennine, for example, is the stuff that I really like. But yeah, I think the steam trains in TSW are really exciting, to be honest. And it opens the door, doesn't it, for more routes, depending how popular it is. It opens the door for a lot more down the line. There's probably a few classic steam routes that enthusiasts would like to see. So once this one's done and it proves it can work, gives more options for the future. Jaffa says TSW2 is good, especially the British Rail stuff. Yeah, I agree with that, definitely. Yeah, do you know? Yeah, the era, Farah, the era. I'm interested, as well as it being steam trains. I am interested in just seeing. There's a lot of talk about the yards and how busy the yards are. So I'm hoping they've done them justice, because I imagine the freight yards then were absolutely chock-a-block, really busy. Sights, sounds, all that kind of nostalgia you just mentioned. So part of me's just looking forward to that, to the whole scene, as well as the locals themselves. Hi, Causeway Train Spotter, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in, appreciate it. Just joined the stream and heard us talking about Steam. Looking forward to driving Steam in TSW. It's not really interesting in real life. Yeah, that's what we're just saying. Yeah, that's the thing as well, isn't it, about it being a game, but also it's a game, but also it teaches you about trains, probably, and about trains you wouldn't really have thought of. I mean, I'm not I didn't come into playing Train Sim World as a big train enthusiast, but the amount of knowledge I've picked up just by playing the game over the last, well, since 2018 it was when I first played it. The amount of knowledge I've picked up just listening to people on streams and reading the forums, and I would not have imagined picking up this kind of knowledge a few years back, to be honest. So, when it comes to steam trains, there's going to be a lot of us that, on the face of it, are not really that bothered about steam trains, but once we get into them and we learn some of the history about them and what it meant in that time period and what a difference they made, it just adds a lot more interest to it, doesn't it? And it's good that TSW can bring that to us. Jeff says there's a game coming on 12th of May called Tourist Bus Simulator. Right, so on Friday, I've already mentioned this earlier in the stream, but you may not have been in. On Friday, I've got an early release copy of this from Airsoft. So I've actually been allowed to play it already on PS5. There is an embargo, so I'm not allowed to show it. But on Friday, there'll be a first look video at 5 o'clock UK time on the channel. If you look now, you can see I've got it scheduled there as a premiere. So I'll be in the chat. I won't be playing it live. It's already recorded. But I'll be in the chat. So if you want to take a look at it, feel free to join at 5 on Friday. And that's when the embargo lifts, so I can show it after that. So what I'll do is we'll do the first look on Friday, and then hopefully at some point over the weekend I'll actually stream it live so we can get a longer look at it. The first look was all about me just trying to find out the controls. I won't say too much about it until Friday, but there's a lot to do. The only other thing, I kept seeing May the 12th everywhere as a release date, but in the email that I got from Airsoft, they said May the 14th. So in the first look I mentioned May the 14th, but it could actually be the 12th. I'm not really sure whether the 14th is correct, because that's a Saturday, isn't it? I can't imagine them releasing a game on a Saturday. Doesn't really make sense to me. Oh, was it only £22.85 at base? That's interesting, isn't it? That's quite cheap. I mean, base usually are very, very competitive with things. I do tend to look there first. So if it's only £22.85, I'll just tell you from what I've seen so far, without giving it away, I would say it's worth every penny so far. I mean, you can watch streams already, can't you, on the PC version? There's plenty of people showing the PC version. I'll be showing the PS5 version. Sorry, I missed what you guys said. Causeway Train Spotter. Knowledge of safety systems, signals, speed limits. Only intending to play for the enjoyment of driving a train from your living room. Yeah, I've said that before on some of the videos as well, that I would never ever have imagined I would be able to learn PZB. When I was first watching the videos where people were using PZB, I thought, there's no way I'm going to be able to learn this. It looks far too complicated. I don't even know what's going on. But if you sit and just watch a couple of people play it with PZB enabled, it doesn't take that long to recognise what it is doing, so I'm with you there. In fact, the first thing I ever drove, I may have mentioned this before, so apologies if I have, but the first thing I drove was, I don't know if you remember, right at the beginning of Great Western Express, it gives you a choice of 3 different lengths of drive you can do, and I think I picked the shortest one, managed to get the 166 going, which now sounds silly because it's so easy to drive. Got to the destination, and I was panicking, thinking, I'm never going to be able to stop this. I'm never going to be able to stop. I'm going to go straight through the buffers. And I remember that quite clearly. And now, when you think about all these years later, how you can advance playing the game from that, it's pretty amazing, to be honest. And for knowledge and interest level, a few years ago I was boarding a train the other day, got on a 175. Amazing how it's changed your perspective. Yeah, I think you appreciate it a bit more, don't you? You know, when you do next travel by train. And I don't travel by train now very often. When I was working in Manchester on a daily basis, I used to go Preston to Manchester every day. Some years ago. And as I've commented in other videos, that's why I like the 150 so much from West Cornwall, because the Regional Railways North West version of that 150 is what I used to travel on daily, because I used to work for Regional Railways North West back in the day. That will probably date me now, won't it? Because Regional Railways probably haven't been around for some time. Okay, Jaffa, yep, thanks for stopping in. Hope to see you in the chat Friday for Tourist Bus Sim. Hopefully we'll all share some tips and tricks there in the comments over the weeks coming up, once everybody starts to pick that up. So we got 3.6 miles into Victoria, so we're not far away now, are we? The other thing about this route is I haven't got a keyboard, so I can't flick up the frame rate counter. It's just very slightly noticeably dropped in frame rate, but that's only because I'm being picky. So I have a feeling we're going to get stopped here. Oh no, it's definitely not unplayable by any means, and if you actually go in the cab you wouldn't notice it at all. It's when you're outside there's so much just going on. Bit less for it to do when you're in the cab. Okay, so we got a yellow, that's good. We will nip back outside. I think it's all this traffic around Clapham Junction as we approach there. Still got 7 minutes until we're due at London. can just about see the chimneys now for the power station. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Farah. I think memory-wise, the stuff that they're talking about optimizing the game all the time. So, small steps. Hopefully, it improves. There's only certain routes where you get any issues, and then, like you said, it's not major. Certainly not unplayable. Sometimes when you read the forums, you would think that it is unplayable for some people. I don't know. Different platforms have different issues. I think, I'm quite fortunate. Played it on PS5. I probably don't see a lot of that, but I don't think I've ever seen anything unplayable from my end anyway. So I haven't driven many services at night yet, but I do have the mastery unlocked, which lights up the chimneys on the power station at night, which is quite a nice effect. I'm assuming that's a real life effect as well. It's like a light show on the power station. Quite a bit of traffic in this part. So that's a double yellow. So we have got a red just outside the station. So you do need to keep your eye on the signals. I'm still using the hood. I've not driven this one enough yet to not use the hood. But you do have to keep your eye on the signals with this amount of traffic. You don't want to spad the service when you've come all the way from Brighton. So there we are, we've got our yellow, platform 13. So you can see this level of traffic just now, there's no issues. Very, 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 very small frame rate issue, but just I'm not a perfectionist. I'll take it. But I love how you can sort of race trains in and out. It's got that London feel, hasn't it? For how busy it is. Hello, British Rail enthusiast. Thanks for dropping in. Good to see you. Hope you're doing okay. So this is Victoria, London Victoria, as opposed to Manchester Victoria, which of course we've got on NTP as well. Yeah, we've all done that, Farah. Yeah. Some of those American freight services, and the fact that not so much on Horseshoe Curve, they fixed it, didn't they? But for that one, but some of those stop markers are very, very close to the red, and if you are not careful, especially with a heavy train, you're going to go straight through it, and it is annoying. I've kind of learnt to take a quick save, sort of halfway, 3/4 of the way through, just in case I mess it up on those long runs. Then at least I don't have to restart right from the beginning. Yeah, this is the Gatwick Express. Actually, we've got to the end just now, British Rail enthusiasts. This is service 1M99 and 387226 was the lead vehicle there. Yeah, I've been stung by it a few times, Farah, and it's not pleasant, especially when, you know, if you consider routes like Sandpatch or Sherman Hill take sort of 2 hours to get end to end, then you got to use the save function. And the save function now is quite quick, isn't it? Because you just need to, well, certainly on PlayStation, you just need to go into the menu and press triangle, and it saves it quick, and you could be back on your way again. So just before we go, let's just jump out. I'm not going to bother shutting down the train. The next driver can do that. He's going out at 9:47. We'll lock that. We'll take the carriage key out. Nobody's going in. Just have a quick look around Victoria. All the collectibles are done. I used the guide. I'm not ashamed to say that. What's that over there? 465, is that? Looks like the 465 from Southeastern High Speed. Plenty of trains going out. There's one going out there at 9:30. So that's the other good thing about this route is you can do your service, jump out, and then drive something back as well, which is what I've started doing, especially on this route, because of how busy it is. There's usually something going back the other way without having to wait. So you've got one there, 9:36 as well, 9:41, 9:46. So there's plenty going on. There is another Gatwick Express just leaving, so you see we could have probably jumped on that one. That's going as far as Gatwick only, that one. So yeah, that is Brighton to London Victoria. And there's even people there on the concourse waiting to come through. So that's it. I think that was the plan tonight, just to run that one service. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for leaving me a like. If you're not subscribed, please do that as well, because that really will help me out. I do appreciate all the support. And I will see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. All the best.